What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mercy Sports Historian back again with another video, and this time we're going to be going over my play-in predictions. Full transparency, this is the second time that I'm recording this video, and I'm a little bit annoyed that I had to record it a second time because I didn't switch to my microphone. I didn't switch to my microphone and it recorded with my laptop mic. So, again, it's the second time we're recording this, and I apologize if I'm a little bit brief. That being said, if you guys enjoy sports content or content like this, please make sure that you leave a like on the video as well as subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you get notified every time that I post a video. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the current play-in matchups that we have, as the last day of the regular season was yesterday and the full seedings are set. Playoff matchups are as follows. We have tomorrow, the first game, the first play-in game, tomorrow, April 16th, Tuesday, is Lakers-Pelicans to determine who will be the 7th seed, Warriors-Kings to determine who will play for the 8th seed game. Following that up on Wednesday, we have the Heat-Sixers as the 7th seed game, and the Hawks playing the Bulls to determine who will play for the 8th seed game. As you guys know, with play-in, the losers of that 7th seed game go on and have another chance to win a playoff spot as the 8th seed. So, for example, if the Pelicans were to lose, they would have another shot and go up against the winner of Warriors-Kings to determine who would be the 8th seed. Now that we got our little refresher on how the play-in works, I'm going to go into my predictions. So for the first matchup, we have Lakers-Pelicans. And I'm a little upset that the Pelicans are as low as they were because, again, I had them as a team to watch, and they're definitely a team to watch now because their playoff life hangs in the balance of what they do in these two play-in games, potentially these two play-in games. Unfortunately for them, I don't think that they're going to overcome the obstacle that is the Los Angeles Lakers, simply because the experience factor matters here. And when you talk about this Pelicans team, Zion has never been in a playoff environment or a play-in environment, whereas B.I., he had to fight his way through the play-in to have a competitive, I believe it was a 6-game series against a 1-seeded Suns team. Compare that to the Lakers. The Lakers won a ring, 4 years ago. They have LeBron James, Anthony Davis. These are guys that have been in the playoffs. This entire team, they've been in the playoffs before. This is nothing new to them. In fact, this iteration of the Lakers team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis has only missed the playoffs once when fully healthy, and they were an 11th seed that time. But they've been through the play-in every single time. I believe they were a 7th seed twice, and they were 8th seed once. So they're used to fighting their way through the play-in at least one game and, going on to the playoffs. Last year, they fought through the play-in and made it to the Western Conference Finals. So I'm not putting anything in past this Lakers team, anything realistic past this Lakers team at least. And I do have them advancing as the 7th seed. Moving on to Warriors-Kings now. The Warriors-Kings rivalry, it's great. It's great. We saw it last year with the playoff matchup. We saw it this year with just how many times that they matched up earlier in the regular season. It felt like they were spamming that matchup every other week. And it was pretty good basketball every time I watched it. I think I watched maybe 3 of the 4 times that they matched up. Regardless, though, there's a big red button that we don't want to talk about when it comes to the Kings, but unfortunately we're going to have to. Kevin Huerter, injured. Malik Monk, potential 6th man of the year, injured. So what does that mean for a Kings team who's going into the playoffs, who's going into the play-in, They're shorthanded. They're shorthanded against a Warriors team who is their rival. A Warriors team who knows how to play against this Kings team to get a win, against a Warriors team who just last season eliminated them from the playoffs when I thought that the Warriors were potentially fighting an uphill battle. They came out and they, did what they did, and they eliminated them from the last playoffs, and they had competitive matches with them this regular season. Unfortunately for the Kings, I think that these injuries are going to be too severe to overcome. When you're looking at a guy like Kevin Huerter and you're looking at potential 6th man of the year and Malik Monk, that's a lot of offensive firepower that you're just missing. Going up against this Warriors team who can be up and down offensively, but they have Steph Curry on their team. So you can't ever put anything past them offensively. If there was any worse people that could have went down, it would have been like Sabonis and Fox. But now you have 2 of your key ancillary pieces who make this team go, who make this team run as an engine. And all respect to Keon Ellis for, filling in his role and filling the shoes that he's been asked to fill. but he's not Kevin Huerter and he's not Malik Monk. With all of that being said, though, I think that this Warriors team is probably the weakest that we've ever seen them as a core. I didn't like the Chris Paul addition. I still don't like the Chris Paul addition. He got injured midway through the season, came back. He's been all right, I guess, for them, but this Warriors team is in desperate need of a shakeup soon, and I think that the catalyst of the shakeup is going to be them losing this play-in game to the Sacramento Kings. Moving on to the Eastern Conference side of this play-in bracket, we have the Heat going up against the 76ers for the 7th seed game, and to play for the chance to get the 8th seed, we have the Hawks going up against the Bulls. I'm going to talk more about the first matchup because the second matchup, we'll get there when we get there, but as far as the Heat and the Sixers go, I think that the Sixers team is clearly superior to the Heat. Obviously, they were hindered by former MVP Joel Embiid. I think he would have been back-to-back two-time MVP had he not got hurt. They were hindered significantly, so much so that they fell from like number 2 all the way to number 8 is where they are in the standings currently. So yeah, this team is an 8 seed by definition, but in practice, they're not actually an 8 seed team. So I think that the 76ers shouldn't really have any problems dispatching of the Miami Heat for this game. I don't know. I just feel like with the addition of Joel Embiid back into the lineup, you know, he's not fully ramped up, but by the time they play that game, he'll have enough reps under his belt, and he'll be, you know, back enough from injury to where he can play, 75%? And I feel like if he plays at least 75%, then the 76ers shouldn't really have a tough time beating the Heat and advancing to the 7th seed in, you know, the playoffs. But moving on to this Hawks and this Bulls game, I'm going to be honest and I'm going to keep it very brief. I don't want to see the Bulls win at all. I want to see us get eliminated here. I want Trae Young to drop 40 points and the Bull season to be over. I'm tired of watching this team. This team this season has pushed me to my absolute limit, and I'm fed up. I don't want to watch anymore. I'm so serious. You might think that I'm coming off as like comedic and trying to be funny. No, I'm extremely serious. I don't want to watch this team anymore. I hate what this season has turned into. I hate the implications of next season because, listen, if I talked about all the reasons that I've hated this Bull season, I could be here for an hour. And my battery life on my camera does not permit for that. So I'm just going to say that I predict the Hawks to beat the Bulls and advance to the 8 seed play-in game. Now, as far as those 8 seed play-in games go, my predictions are, if you've been paying attention, that it will be the Pelicans going up against the Kings on the Western Conference side of the bracket, and it will be the Heat going up against the Hawks on the Eastern Conference side of the bracket. I think that one of these matchups is pretty damn easy to figure out. Trae Young has played like shit for most of the time that he's played against the Heat in the postseason. I don't know what it is with them. The Heat just seem to have Trae Young's number. I don't even think necessarily in the postseason. It's just they're a team that guards Trae Young extremely well. And you combine that with him coming off fresh. He's fresh off of injury still. He hasn't been playing, but he's still fresh off of injury. I think that it'll be just a little bit too much to overcome for this Hawks team, and I think that the Heat will advance as 8 seed in the playoffs. The Pelicans-Kings matchup has a lot more nuance to it, in which case I feel that both of these teams are pretty damn good and would be deserving of that 8 seed. When it comes down to both the teams, like individual rosters, again, you look at that Kings. Look at the Kings team, and they're missing Kevin Huerter, and they're missing potential 6th man of the year Malik Monk. That's going to affect them in a major way. If they were able to somehow skate by against the Warriors, I don't think that they'll be able to do the same against this Pelicans team. This Pelicans team is really good, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do in the playoffs. They do have to get there, though, and I think that this team is hungry. I think that they match up pretty damn well against the Kings, all things considered. They have a fantastic do-it-all, you know. He can be on the perimeter guy. He can help out a little bit on the interior, not necessarily the paint, but the interior of, you know, the mid-range and stuff like that. A guy in Herb Jones. I think Herb Jones should be a lock for first team all defense. And I think unleashing him on this team who's now down multiple of their key significant offensive contributors, I think it just doesn't lead for a good matchup for the Kings. So with the 8 seed matchup, give me the Pelicans beating the Kings in the play-in tournament, as well as give me the Heat beating the Hawks in the play-in tournament. That's been it though for this video. I'm glad that you guys stuck through all the way. If you guys enjoy sports content, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace and happy playoffs.